Hi everyone and welcome to this new video. This time I won't show you a tutorial about WordPress or web design or marketing. This time I will show you the greatest achievement in my video games life. And I am very passionate with strategic games, and in fact Europa Universalis 4 is maybe one of the most difficult and the best strategic games in the world. In fact, it has a lot of, yes, so many things, and you can also complete the achievements. In particular, the achievements, there are global statistics about the achievements, and you can see what is the most difficult achievement. In fact, I was able to complete the most difficult achievement in this time when I'm recording the video, that is Stiff Upper Lippe. And I am making this video because there is no such a video on the web, just people saying what to do, but no one um, that can really show you the achievement completed. Well, I can because I just completed the achievement, and well, I was able to do that after many hours of playing, but I think I didn't try it more than 3 times, so I expected it to be more difficult. For example, when I played as Rhodes here and I recreated the Kingdom of Jerusalem, it was really harder for me, especially in the early game. While this one, yeah, as you can see, I am Lippe. I conquered all the west part of Germany and also of Belgium and also Holland, and now also the all the British Isles. That is the achievement itself. The achievement says you must conquer all the British Isles, and as you can see, I have conquered them. I will show you also the achievement in the game. So how did I do that? I have the basic version of the game, no DLCs, so that you have no excuses about the DLCs. You can do that as I did, because if I did it, you can too. And yes, I'm not a pro player. I didn't play the game as many do, and yes, if you follow these steps, you will be able to do the achievement by yourself. So yes, just showing you the achievement. Ta-da! Stiff upper lip. Sorry. Yes, very difficult because, for example, I told you about the Rhodes achievement. It is very difficult in the hill game. You have to restart it several times. While this one is very difficult because you have to keep an eye on the time, because time runs out very quickly. And as you can see, I had just 10 years left, more or less. Okay, so in more than 400, no, yes, 400 years of history, 10 years are a little space to complete the achievement. How did I start? Well, when you are under Berg in the first part of the game, uh, you, of course, the first step you need to do is to become not a vassal anymore. So you must become independent. In order to do that, you need Berg to lose a war. So do not waste your money in the army, because you must lose a war under Berg, and hope that someone releases you. And it happens as soon as Berg loses a war against a country or many countries that can't core you. If they can core you, you have lost, because of course they will take your province, and with just one province you will lose. Okay, I forgot to say that as Berg you need to release first Lippe, because Lippe is under Berg. In order to do that, you just need to go in here in this UE, okay, diplomacy here, and you release Lippe, and you click on play as Lippe. Lippe is not a great country. In fact, I will show you the national ideas. You have production efficiency, yes, something about the trade, but I can assure you that you are not a good trade nation. If you can see the income, the trade is lower than taxation and production in my case. So Lippe is not a good country in this aspect. Uh, and it is a good country about the diplomatic relations and reputation. In fact, the aspect of diplomacy is one of the most important part of your campaign, because uh, you will continuously struggle with coalitions, because as a German country you will suffer aggressive expansion every time you conquer a territory, even one, sometimes. So with coalitions starting everywhere, you need to have a very good relations roster, good allies. As soon as you can ally with Austria or France. In the early game, you will just be able to ally with Brandenburg, but then I strongly recommend you to ally on with Austria or France. Austria is better for the German part, because they will help you in the wars against the German country. France will help you against Great Britain. In my game, in fact, I allied with France, and they felt sorry under a personal union with me. It was the most strangeful thing I experienced in EU4. I was just a country like that, and I had this France under me. It was really strange, and in fact, I had also to win a succession war with Austria, and I was able to do that. I will never be able to do that again in my life. And how with mercenaries? Mercenaries can bring you in bankruptcy, but in some periods they are extremely useful, especially if you are trying to do these achievements. So don't be scared of recruiting mercenaries, and of course, if you can use your army, do it. Uh, about the army, try to reach the highest land force limit you can, because with the coalition, a way to stop them, of course, is beating them on the field. And in order to do that, you need a very good army tradition and a huge army with a lot of manpower. In fact, I didn't have a good manpower, but I had a huge army and also a very good army tradition. 24.6 is a good amount. About the forts, you don't need many forts. In fact, I didn't construct a fort in all the game. Um, I have just taken the fort of others, and I didn't demolish them. So the situation you see is what I found conquering the countries. And if you are able to build also a nice fleet, is better, because when you try to invade Great Britain, of course you need to do that with a great fleet. If you don't have a good fleet, they will destroy you, and you will never step a foot on land. And when to attack Great Britain. Great Britain must be weak and, for example, fighting a colonial war. When they're fighting a colonial war, you can see that their stability is low. In order to see the situation of a country, just go here, check the stability, check the prestige, check all the other information you can get, especially this one. If they have a low, if they have a low manpower, a low a small army, a great war exhaustion, they are fighting in many wars, you can attack them, and you can see that the distance is not too huge from this coast to the other coast. So if you are lucky and quick, you can land all your forces here, take London, and win the first war and claim the first provinces. In my case, I was able to conquer Britain in another way. In fact, France was under my um partnership, and France had all this part of Great Britain. So I landed all my troops, I think that were 100,000 men, and yes, in 1 year I was able to conquer all this part of Great Britain in the First War. After conquering all Great Britain, there were, yes, in maybe 50 years, there were just these provinces that remained to France. I wanted to integrate France as it was my subject, but the time was running out. I couldn't bring the relations up to 190 to annex them, and so I just declared war to Flanders. I resigned all France with the 100% war score in my disfavor, and without waiting the truce, I declared war to France. And what you can see now is my army returning from this war. And of course, I won it because my army is the largest in the game till now. 335,000 men, so a huge army against just 143. And they are allied to Savoy, but they are still 100,000 men under me. So I won the war also with all the allies I have. I have so many allies in this game, especially with Lippe. You need many allies. I had 8 diplomatic relations. That is a number that you need to play as Lippe, and you need also to ally many German states, because if you ally with them, especially if they are strong, you will suffer less risk to be attacked by a coalition, and then they will also be never part of the coalition because they will be allied to you. In fact, I am allied to Saxony, to Bohemia, to Bavaria, and to Brabant. So I am um, circled by great and good allies. Of course, some of the German countries will always hate you. That is why you need to be extra careful and play very slowly, especially in the middle part of the game. That is the crucial one, because you will for certain become reform. You will change your fate to Catholic to reform. It is almost certain, and many of the countries across Germany will remain Catholic, and they will hate you, especially the Roman Emperor. And in fact, now I don't have an elector, never had one, and I am the strongest nation in all Germany. So I should be the emperor, but no one likes me. Okay, and it is normal because I am Reformed, I'm not Catholic, and then I conquered a lot of the German countries. In fact, if you go, of course, in my diplomacy, okay, diplomacy, you can see how many nations I can release, and most of them are German. So be really, really careful about the relations. Your aim is not your objective is not to conquer Germany. Remember that. Your goal is to conquer Great Britain. So do not lose time in useless war in this part of the country, and because as I said, you will suffer coalitions, many countries will hate you, and mm, they will slow you. Instead, try to conquer Great Britain as soon as you can. So you need a port, and of course, when you are at this distance, you can core these provinces. Or another method is to go up here and if they are under Norway, for example, you can core these two islands and then attack Great Britain from Scotland. Or another situation might be that some of the Ireland countries are still in the game, and you can attack one of them, take part of Ireland, and then conquer England from there. England is a great country, but is not so powerful in the land. In fact, my conquest of Great Britain wasn't that difficult. If you have a war against Great Britain or against Austria on the land, there is a huge difference. Or even with France, France is the most powerful, I think. This is my opinion. So, with a good army tradition, with many men, you won't struggle to take Great Britain. But in order to do that, of course, you need a good roster in the Germany part of the world, and in order to have a good roster, you need to conquer many regions. And of course, the difficult part is to resist to all the wars that occur in Germany and resist from the coalition. I strongly recommend you to stop conquering regions in a war, so demanding regions, as soon as you see that more than 5 countries could join a coalition. When you have the war UE, the war tab, you will see the war score, and when you try to demand territories in bottom right, you will see also if the coalition may form. If a coalition is forming, be careful, because more than 5 countries will bring you for certain against a huge coalition in the time. So be careful about that. Conquer one region per time, or sometimes it happened to me. Uh, if you see that conquering a region would mean to form a good, a very strong coalition against you, just leave the war. So send for white peace or concede defeat, humiliate a rival, things like that. No conquering territories, because you will suffer for certain great coalition against you. So about the wars, be careful about that, and declare war one time in 5 or 10 years. If you declare war every year, you will for certain obtain a coalition against you. So be mindful about that. In fact, I was able to land on Great Britain territory in the 18th century. So before the 18th century, I wasn't able to do a thing because I was very occupied to secure my position in Germany. And the game might be also very, very slow and most of the game will be played in the top speed, because as I said, you need to wait for truces to be expired and to coalitions to be destroyed by themselves, so countries leaving their coalitions, and be careful about that. And a, a suggestion that I have for you about the coalition: when you see that a huge coalition forms, just quit the game and re-enter it, because sometimes when you re-enter the game, I think this is a bug, the coalition will be dismissed, but it doesn't happen always. So the coalitions are the real threat in your stiff under lip achievement. So I think that's it. If you want a more specific guide about the achievement, this is more an overall resume of my experience and the proof that I was able with this strategy to complete the achievement. Just leave the comments and I will try to help you. And another thing, I strongly suggest you do not interfere with the wars of others, and try always to participate but remaining neutral. So um, don't throw away your manpower, put war taxes on, and just wait. Do not waste your time in useless wars. Before leaving you, yes, I will just show you my situation, my overall situation. As you can see, I have good advisors. I have a lot of cultures, also of promoted cultures. About the country modifiers, I was really focused on the religion, because as reformed, I had to convert completely Catholic Great Britain, including Ireland, and also many of the German territories. And then, of course, I am a kingdom. Do not change your government form. Now I have 12 diplomatic relations that I created just to declare war to France, but I never went off my diplomatic relations limit, and I suggest you to do the same, because otherwise you will lose many diplomatic points, and they are um, so needed in your game as a leap. So just mind of the diplomatic power, it is very useful to you. And my allies now are Norway, Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and Norway and the Ottoman Empire are just for France, Bavaria, Bohemia, Saxony, revolutionary Portugal, Spain, Naples, just to declare war to France, Venice, Brabant, and Russia. So I have very, very strong allies. And rivals, of course, Austria, France, and the Ming Empire. Yes, I'm just as big as the Ming, maybe. My economy is not so strong, I must admit. This is one of the worst economy I had in all my games. Maybe because I have a very high army maintenance, but not so many debts, because of course when you are not at war, you need to lower your army maintenance and you will earn a lot of money. And with this strategy, I was able to get just few loans in all my game, but I wasn't rich at all. So I didn't also construct many factories or constructions. About the trade I talk about it later. I have a good trade efficiency, but my trade isn't that good. I have just 7 merchants, and yeah, as you can see, not a very good income. So the economy maybe is the less powerful part in my game, and it can be also in yours. Be careful of not going bankruptcy, but if you don't have a very strong economy, it doesn't matter. The same I can say about the colonies. I didn't have a colony. I tried to do that, but I was too late because I reached the sea coast and conquer a province on the sea coast very late. And this must be one of your goals. Try to get to the coast as soon as you can, so you can go for the colonies, and also try to attack Great Britain as soon as you can. With the colonies, maybe your game is easier, also because you can beat Great Britain not only on the land part but also on the colonies, because in the first war you will reach a very high war score easily, because you can just conquer all Great Britain and that's it. But when with the following wars, you must also conquer the colonies to get a good war score and conquer the British regions on the Great Britain lands. Maybe colonies are good for help. So also try to ally to Spain or Portugal, because they will of course help you in the wars against Great Britain with the colonies. Talking about trade, okay, and technology, as you can see, I'm very strong on it, and very ahead of times. In all the game I was always keeping my pace with the technology. The same I can say about the ideas. I completed all the ideas except these two, and in 10 years I am of course able to do that. The first ideas I used was the trade ideas, because one of the achievements is to become the greatest trade power in the Rhine region, I think. But I didn't I didn't succeed in that. But a strong trade base and also a strong economic base will help you, because as I said, your economy is not that great, so use trade ideas and economic ideas to sustain it. And I suggest you to use these two first. Then of course quantity ideas, because you need to recruit a huge army as soon as you can. And then quality ideas, because you need your army to be very strong. Then I tried the expansion ideas, because I wanted to get colonies, but I didn't succeed. But these expansions ideas were not trash, because they give you diplomatic relations, good trade, and other merchants. Of course, maybe it was better to use another type of idea. For example, I am thinking about the religious idea, especially when you need to, as I said, convert many regions. So, at place of expansion ideas, if you don't get to the sea very quickly, I suggest you to take religious ideas. Then diplomatic ideas, they can also go here. They are really essentials, because you need to have many diplomats to send and improve relations, especially when other countries try to form a coalition or hate you. And you also need more diplomatic relation and an increase of diplomatic reputation. And also this one is very good against Great Britain, because it lowers the province war cost and you can take land very quickly. Then you have the offensive ideas. I put them to conquer Great Britain and also France. And then the influence ideas. I put them to try to integrate France, but I didn't succeed in that. So also this idea is not that useful at the end. About the missions, I tried to complete the mission tree, but I wasn't able to do that. This because it is a very difficult mission tree that is also based on the colonies, and as I said, I didn't have colonies. Then I was wasn't also able to dominate trade in the Rhineland. As I said, um, I I have not a good trade power, and I almost completed this part of the conquering, but is more Germany related, and I didn't do that. Be careful about the national decisions. Do not turn in Westphalia, because of course your achievement will be lost. Maybe now I can do that because I have completed the game, but it doesn't matter, in fact. And the same thing can be said about German nation. Do not form the German nations. About the policies, well, about the policies, I use this one, and also for many time I use this one for increasing the land force limit and trade and production efficiency. And then I took the goods produced modifier that in your case is incredibly strong. I didn't think that Lip has many goods, but it will surprise you even better than the global trade power or other things related to trade. Then I took the land force limit modifier again to increase my land force limit, again to increase my land force limit, and again, but this time with diplomatic reputation, because I needed to get a very good diplomatic reputation. Yes, I have a good stability. I am covering the provinces I took against France, but uh, in order to complete the achievement, you don't need to conquer and the core all the provinces. You just need to conquer them. So this is easier. I didn't think I thought that I had to core them, but no. My government capacity is really okay. I have 32 states and 1 territory. So a very good stability and expansion situation, as you can see. The religion also is really good. I am the defender of the faith, and I have a 97% of religious unity and 8.0% of missionary strength. So I am really good also about the religion. Be careful about religion and use religious idea if you can, as I said. And my army, have shown you it before. It is huge and very strong. Also, my generals, as you can see, are really powerful. Especially this one. I think this one is a 3-star general. I have one 3-star general for certain that maybe yes he's coming back from here. And the estates, I was able to keep a very high crown land. I suggest you to do the same. And if you lose the loyalty of the clergy, the burghers, or the nobility, don't worry, because you are very strong on this part. For example, I had to struggle more with the roads campaign about the estates, but never had a problem. Yeah, of course, just some problems solved in 1 or 2 years. So that's it, and yeah, I have a very awful prestige because, of course, I released France 2 years before, and I lost 80 prestige, more or less, or 100, maybe 100, yeah. And that's it. Just leave comments, questions. Let me know if you like the video, and thank you very much for watching. I don't exclude that there will be some other video games on my channel, but I have not a good computer. As you can see, it is lagging a lot, and I am not a YouTuber, so it is just for fun and passion. And also I wanted to see this video in 10 years on YouTube and say yes, I did it on this game. Of course, it's just for fun, is just sometimes hobby, and really loved it. So thank you again for watching, and bye bye.